So today's topic on personal development is productivity. And if you ever got a productive day, you know how it feels like. It's like everything is flowy, everything goes according to plan. It's this very deep sense of joy that, yes, you've been using your time super efficiently today. You've been working towards things that make sense to you. And it might just be 9 o'clock in the morning and you are already done with your work for the day. That's a pure sense of joy, basically. And you might have felt that. You might also have felt the opposite, which is the unproductive days, where on the contrary, nothing goes to plan. There are emergency, there are new customer requests. Maybe you get distracted by hundreds of emails, by coworker coming from last minute thing to do. Maybe you just spend the day only doing meetings and you are like, well, I've been sitting in meetings, but I have actually not done anything myself today. I've not delivered anything. And you might feel this sense of, I've lost my time today. And this is really a struggle for a lot of people. It's really an area where people are like, how can I actually get back my time? How can I reclaim more control about it? How can I make sure that I am not just a person who is just reactive, but I'm also doing the proactive work? I'm really doing the long-term thinking work and making sure that I can guarantee maximize success in the future. And that's an area where high performers are paying a lot of attention because they are very aware that this can make you or break you. That's, productivity is a support for you to be able to over deliver super high quality on the long term consistently. And if you're not able to master this area, you are losing part of your momentum. You might be losing your focus as well. You might be losing some motivation. But more importantly, you are not going to be able to deliver the best level of you, the best level of quality you could be. So let's talk about how high performers are looking at productivity so that you understand a bit better what maybe you could be doing in your life a little bit differently and which part of the productivity you can explore further. And the first thing I want to mention about productivity is, first of all, it's an emotion. So it's an emotion because it's basically, have I been using my time? And time is always an emotion. You will associate a good time with positive feeling about the activity you were doing or the person you were around, or on the contrary, negative feelings. And productivity is a sense of deep joy, knowing that, yes, I've been using my time to deliver something that I'm satisfied today. And beyond that, what you need to look for is what makes you feel that you've been using your time in a meaningful way. What was it? So if you look back in the 2-3 weeks before you're watching this video, what have you been doing that gives you this sense, oh yeah, today I've been doing something good. I've been using this hour very, like, I was very satisfied with what I delivered there. Go and look at it, because it's going to give you an indication of what's meaningful to you. And meaningful thing in general, they should be things that are exciting you, and it doesn't have to be just easy things that you're enthusiastic to do. It can be also challenging thing, but things that makes you think, okay, if I do that, I'm going to feel proud about myself, and you get excited about the idea of doing them. And it should also be things that you know deeply are the right thing for you to do. That's where you know you are using your talent, that's where you are using your best self. It should also be things that make you feel fulfilled once you achieve them. So if it's just something you do and at the end you are not happy with it, well, that's not meaningful to you, right? And it should also be something, obviously, something that is coherent with what you want to achieve. So it should be linked to your bigger life vision. It should be linked towards your goal. It should be things that are helping you, giving you the sense that you're progressing toward these goals. And if you can look at it, so for enthusiasm, is it right? Is it making me feel fulfilled? Does it make sense in my longer term project? That's going to give you the sense of meaningfulness. So go and have a look, because once you identify what gives you this sense, it's going to be easier for you to go and look, how can I do more of this type of task? How can I, if I cannot remove some of the tasks that I'm not looking forward to do, how can I use some of this learning for meaningfulness to make other tasks more enjoyable as well, and to give a larger sense of productivity during the day? So that's the number one. And number two, where high performers are really, 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 really strong on, is making sure that they deliver the highest output of quality in what they do. And by that, I mean that once you've identified how you can create this emotion, how you can create this meaningful use of your time, it's not just about meaningful. It's about, you want to make it meaningful, good. But how can you make it meaningful and make sure that you are working on the tasks that are actually the one making the difference, that are actually the one that are getting you the fastest where you want to go, that are actually the one that are making the difference in terms of quality that what you are delivering. And if you know about the Pareto's law, which says that 80% of your results are actually coming from 20% of your efforts, it's very critical there to really do the deep strategic thinking and think, okay, which are actually the needle mover activity? If I want to achieve these goals, what are the 5 things I should be focusing my attention on? What are the 5 things I should really put energy on? And that's going to make a difference, because it's not just about thinking what is meaningful, it's also thinking about, is it relevant to do it now? Is it relevant for you to do it? Is it something that you really want to contribute towards? Is it something that you really want to produce? Is it something that can help you for the future as well, whether it's, preparing you for the future by helping you working on a specific skill, or maybe it helps you differentiate yourself on the job market in the industry you are at. So there is really this sense of, is that the thing that I should really be working on? And very importantly, once you've identified this ones, which high performers are spending a lot of time on doing the thinking behind it, you need to plan them. High performers have 60% of their week that is focused on working on meaningful tasks that are moving the needle forwards. 60%. It's huge. If you look at your own calendar right now, you're not going to see 60%. It's very, very unlikely. If you see 60%, you're already a high performer. So well done for you. But 60% is huge, and it doesn't happen by pure chance. It happens because high performers are also making sure that they are planning far in advance. So they have usually at least 90-day planning done for their meaningful task, for the things that they know, okay, I have to work on this if I want to make this project happen. So look at your calendar, try to map out the next 90 days, try to make sure that you're doing some great planning. That guarantees that you're going to deliver with excellence what you've said you are going to deliver, and what matters for you, what actually is going to give you the biggest impact, the biggest momentum possible. And make sure that you stick to that. Very important. You need to make sure that this 60% of your time that you're trying to create for yourself are protected, that you are not letting anything reactive come on the way there. That's going to require some strength from your side. But the feeling you are going to get that you have been moving forward at the right pace, at the full speed that you could have done, with your full capabilities, with your full strength as well, is going to give you a whole different sense of perception on the time. And again, it's going to create this very strong sense of joy. So go look at it and go do some very strategic planning if you have not done it yet. And the third thing I want to mention on productivity is that obviously productivity is a social activity. It will always be a social activity. There will always be other human beings involved in your productivity. So you cannot avoid that, but you can make sure that you are anticipating it. And one way can be asking for support. So asking for help if there is too many things on your plate, asking for, getting things delegated to someone. If you know, okay, I've already worked on that, I know how it works, I know what's involved there, it's not really meaningful for me to keep working on it, it doesn't really move the needle further for me, so I can delegate this to this person who is also actually interested to grow in this area. That can be a way. So asking for the support you need and holding other people in the process is very important to control your own productivity as well and maximize it. And the second thing is, obviously, people are not going to be always very receptive to you trying to increase your productivity, so you will get some pushback, and it might require a lot of courage initially. It might be very painful for you initially if you are working towards creating more productivity and freeing some of your time. And it's going to be difficult because you're going to have to say no to things. It's going to be, you're going to have to push back some people. You're going to, reprioritize things for other people as well. And you will also have to set very strong boundaries. So you might have a colleague who is always putting meetings during your lunchtime. You might say, hey, no, my lunchtime is time for me. I don't do anything during this time. So, training people, coaching them and saying, okay, never book a meeting in the first hour of the day, because my first hour of the day is the moment where I do planning. It's the moment where I work at least an hour on something that is a big project I want to tackle in the future. So whatever meeting you put there, I'm always going to decline it. So, you will need to train people to say, hey, this is my boundary, this is my time space, this is when you can book meetings. And that's going to take some courage, that's going to take some repetition, that's going to take some conditioning. But if you know exactly that because you're protecting this time, you're going to feel meaningful, you're going to feel that you are working on the right thing, you're going to create high quality output, which is also going to contribute to the rest of the team, to the rest of the company, to your mission in general. Saying no to people, putting the right boundaries will be actually an easier task when you move forward. So look at productivity more as an emotion, how you can create more of this emotion, what is meaningful to you. Look at the quality you want to deliver. How can you make sure you're working on the right thing that are really the real actions? How can you make sure that you are doing very strong planning there? And also look how you can get more social support and how you can make sure that people understand what's important for you as well. And you are going to see your level of productivity are going to be increasing very quickly.